My flight attendant whispered urgently, "We need you to pretend you don't speak English for the next hour." I stared at her in complete confusion. What kind of request is that? But the panic in her eyes made it clear this wasn't a joke. Her name tag said Rebecca, and she was gripping my armrest so tightly her knuckles were white. She leaned closer and whispered, "There are federal agents on this plane looking for someone who matches your description exactly. If they think you understand what they're saying, you're in serious trouble." My heart started racing. Federal agents? I was just flying to Phoenix for my cousin's wedding. I'm a graphic designer from Seattle who's never even gotten a speeding ticket. Why would federal agents be looking for me? Rebecca glanced toward the front of the plane where two men in dark suits were talking to the captain. She pressed a piece of paper into my hand. "When they come back here, act like you only speak Spanish. Nod when I talk to you in Spanish. Look confused when they speak English. Your life might depend on this." The note said, "Trust me, your real identity is safe if you play along." 20 minutes later, the men approached my row. One was tall with gray hair, the other shorter with suspicious eyes. They showed me their badges, FBI, and asked for my identification. I handed over my driver's license while trying to look nervous but confused. "Are you Jonathan Kyle Mitchell from Seattle?" the tall agent asked. I stared blankly and shrugged, then looked at Rebecca helplessly. She started speaking rapid Spanish to me, gesturing toward the agents. I nodded enthusiastically and responded with the few Spanish phrases I remembered from high school. The agents looked frustrated. The shorter one pulled out a photo and showed it to me. It was definitely me, but it was a photo I'd never seen before, taken somewhere I'd never been. In the picture, I was wearing clothes I didn't own, standing next to people I didn't recognize. Rebecca translated their questions into Spanish, and I kept responding with "no entiendo" and confused gestures. After 10 minutes of this, they moved on to other passengers, but I could see them watching me from across the aisle, clearly not convinced. When we landed in Phoenix, Rebecca grabbed my arm before I could get up. "Don't go to baggage claim. Follow me." She led me through a service door into the airport's back corridors. My legs were shaking as we walked through maintenance areas I'd never seen. She explained everything in hushed tones. A man named Jonathan Mitchell, who looked exactly like me, had been involved in a major cybercrime ring. He'd hacked government databases and stolen classified information. The FBI had been tracking him for months, but he'd disappeared. Rebecca wasn't just a flight attendant. She was an undercover federal marshal who'd been assigned to this flight because they suspected the real Jonathan Mitchell would try to flee the country using my identity. When she saw me board the plane, she realized I was an innocent person who looked exactly like their wanted criminal. The photo they'd shown me was from airport security footage of the real Jonathan Mitchell using a fake ID with my name on it. He'd been using my identity to travel while staying off the FBI's radar. Someone had stolen my personal information and created a criminal alter ego. Rebecca contacted her supervisor, and within an hour, FBI cybercrime specialists confirmed that I was the victim of sophisticated identity theft. The real Jonathan Mitchell had chosen me because we looked similar and had hacked databases to steal my personal information for his fake documents. They caught the real Jonathan Mitchell 3 days later, trying to board a flight to Mexico using yet another stolen identity. He'd been running this scam with multiple people's identities, creating criminal records under innocent people's names while he committed cybercrimes. The FBI cleared my name completely and helped me get identity protection services. Rebecca became a friend who checks in occasionally to make sure no one else is using my information illegally. She said saving innocent people from mistaken arrests was her favorite part of undercover work. 6 months later, I got a letter from the Justice Department thanking me for my cooperation and explaining that my case helped them identify a whole network of identity thieves. The real Jonathan Mitchell got 15 years in federal prison. Now I always check my credit reports monthly and have alerts set up for any activity using my personal information. And whenever I fly, I think about Rebecca and how one flight attendant's quick thinking saved me from being arrested for crimes I never committed.